boosts the risk of cancer. The tritium leaks have also spurred doubts among...
This is our farming community here that we're talking about.
For the company that runs the plant and for Japan.
So some amazing things are going on right now behind the scenes, and they're not being reported on.
And chasing him all over the place.
But that's far from most of the media's focus. Instead, Snowden as the source, not the substance of it.
Yes, with that, welcome back again. I'm Darren Howard.
And I'm Robert Nisbet.
This show is recorded on Friday, June the 28th, 2013. This is Video Radio. Thanks for tuning in. And we are talking about mainstream misses.
Yes, we are being recorded here, and we also are being recorded by other agencies, of course.
So a big shout out to the NSA and CSIS. Well, we talk about the way the mainstream is going right off the rail. Check this out.
Some journalists believe the shocking U.S. government spying scandal is the biggest story of our lifetime. But Big Brother shamelessly watching millions of people in secret seems to be turning into little more than a cat and mouse chase by the American mainstream media.
Snowden. To my mind, the only thing that's really important about Edward Snowden is really how the government is cracking down on him and chasing him all over the place.
But that's far from most of the media's focus. Instead, Snowden as the source, not the substance of the NSA scandal, is all the rage.
There's an old technique called change the subject. When you don't like what the subject is about, you change it, you personalize it, or you try to see what the problems are with the people who are delivering the message and avoid actually explaining the message itself. In this case, a massive spy scandal has been turned into a possible case of treason.
As in Alice in Wonderland, first comes the verdict, then the trial, with pundits eager to shoot the messenger. From questioning whether the reporter who broke the scandal with Snowden as his source should be punished along with the whistleblower, to news reports focused on Snowden's girlfriend, to pointing fingers at any other government but their own, avoiding the issue at hand seems to be a priority. The answer to the question why is simple.
Because they failed to do their job, to actually expose all this. So now they're blaming somebody who has exposed it, and it makes them look bad. Ditto for the government.
The media coverage of the NSA scandal, a litmus test for journalism that most are failing. Instead of cleaning up their act and dwindling ratings, networks are busy looking for bad guys elsewhere, instead of looking the real villain in the face. While a media war breaks out over supporting or hating Edward Snowden, as little airtime as possible is actually dedicated to the spying on unsuspecting citizens itself. The biggest privacy leak in recent U.S. history has shown the media to have little ability to deal with complex issues, instead indulging themselves in a manhunt yet again. Anastasia Churkina, RT, New York.
Wow, that's just too much fun.
Oh, that's too much fun. And what's really ironic about that is it's Russian television pointing it out.
And you know, where are they? Why aren't they? This big banner headline saying the NSA is spying on you right now. And you'll notice they haven't announced the fact that the NSA has stopped spying.
Oh, no. But I mean, we've known they were doing it for years. It's hardly a surprise.
And that's why I am Darren Howard saying the word bomb parts, just to make sure the CSIS and the NSA are paying attention, because that's what you should be doing. Remember, check out our NSA report that's coming up on YouTube. It's getting loaded right now. We got more for you. What do you got?
Well, you know, there was a second whistleblower from the NSA that the media has kind of lost track of completely.
This is awesome. A second whistleblower not being covered by the CBC. That's why we've got Radio Free Canada. Thanks for tuning in.
So much attention is being put on Snowden at the exact same time as another NSA whistleblower, Russell Tice, just stepped forward with some incredible new revelations, including the fact that in 2004, the NSA was wiretapping soon-to-be President Barack Obama, then an Illinois state senator, presumably for the purpose of blackmailing the information that they found out about him, as well as General David Petraeus, White House Press Secretary Scott McClellan, a whole range of names that Russell Tice has just revealed. And journalists like Glenn Greenwald, who are endlessly documenting every twist and turn in the Snowden case, haven't even acknowledged that this other NSA whistleblower has just stepped forward with these new revelations. So some amazing things are going on right now behind the scenes, and they're not being reported on as Snowden takes the sort of the wind out of the sails of the NSA spying story. But people who are interested can go to CorbettReport.com for my own interview with Russell Tice, the other NSA whistleblower who is being ignored in all of this.
Editor of CorbettReport.com, Mr. James Corbett, joining us from Osaka. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us here on Press TV.
So it's amazing that Snowden is the focus, and of course, no one's talking about the fact that all these high government officials were being spied on by the NSA.
Yeah, you know, and of course they're worried about what his girlfriend was doing. They're worried about whether or not he got, dropped out of high school. Wow,
and
really?
By the way, I strongly urge our listeners to go and listen to that interview with James Corbett and the NSA whistleblower. It's very enlightening.
Make sure you just switch off the channel with the lamestream media. Democracy Now! Actually carries news. The Corbett Report actually carries news. We actually carry news.
RT, Press TV, Al Jazeera,
real
the hits news
thing,
organizations.
The funny thing about the hits thing, CNN, 5 million hits in 1 year. Russia Today, alternative media, 500 million hits.
Actually, they've hit 1 billion.
What?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations. Wow.
That might be overall.
Yeah, but still, it's still eclipsing anything that these lamestream guys do. The one thing that really cheesed me off was that they never really covered the fact that we had radioactive rain here in Kelowna after Fukishima. That totally escaped them.
Fukushima?
Yeah.
What's that?
You remember there was this small power problem in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nuclear radiation, that's safe, effective form of energy.
I know. And then groundwater. Check it out. Check our facts.
Now, dangerous levels of highly radioactive material have been found near the earthquake-damaged Fukushima nuclear power plant in Japan. Levels of strontium-90, which is a toxic byproduct from nuclear reactors, have increased 100 times since the end of last year. The new readings are more than 30 times the legal limit. Our correspondent Rupert Wingfield-Hayes is in Tokyo for us. Rupert, is this surprising given what's happened there in that location?
Yes, it is surprising, and it's more bad news for the company that runs the plant and for Japan in general, because what it shows is that the radiation from the crippled nuclear plant, from the crippled reactors at Fukushima, has not been fully contained. For the last 2 years, since the triple meltdown there, the job of Tokyo Electric Power has been first to stabilize those reactors and then to contain the radiation. And they believed that they had done that, but what this shows is somehow radiation is still getting out of those reactors, probably through the cooling water, and into the surrounding environment and into the groundwater. And this latest report shows that it's not only getting out, it seems to be increasing, that in the groundwater there in the last few months it has gone up by around 100 times the strontium-90. So it appears that either a major leak took place and it's finding its way into the groundwater, or there is some sort of constant leakage going on that is getting worse. And it appears that the company doesn't really know exactly what's going on.
OK, Rupert Wingfield-Hayes there in Tokyo. Thank you.
So, of course, where's lamestream media on this?
Well, that was the BBC, so, they are kind of mainstream.
Yeah, but we don't get any mention of this. We've got international news on rock stars, Justin Bieber, and car accidents, but not on 100-time radiation level.
And he was very careful about how he spoke about it. It appears, it seems.
Yeah, I know, as if he's trying to play down the facts that these guys are glowing in the dark and maybe somebody should be doing about it. GMOs, we were there with about 500 people, well, 450 people. At any rate, March Against Monsanto was not covered to the degree that it should have been locally or nationally. And then this story got missed altogether.
The FBI investigating the destruction and sabotage of 2 different plots of land used to grow genetically modified sugar beets in Jackson County. The plots are on private farmland, leased and managed by Syngenta.
I'm not aware of any kind of sabotage to this degree involving crops such as this.
GMO-free Jackson County leader Chris Hardy says he was stunned to hear the plot's destruction.
Bit of a shock because this is our our farming community here that we're talking about.
And Hardy says neither he or anyone in GMO-free Jackson County was involved in the crime.
No one from GMO-free Jackson County is involved in this process that I am aware of.
The FBI says that on June 8th, about 1,000 sugar beet plants were destroyed on one property. Then on June 11th, another 5,500 were ruined on another property. They call the financial losses significant, but won't go into detail.
This time, for investigative reasons, the agents who are looking at this case have declined to put that information out in the public realm.
The FBI considers this crime to be economic sabotage and a violation of federal law involving damage to commercial agricultural enterprises. Both charges are felonies. In Ashland, Craig Smullen, NBC5 News.
Once again, mainstream media missing this altogether, and the FBI saying...
So, what do you think? GMO false flag to blame activists?
I would have to say so, yeah. But remember, Peru burned GMO seeds on the port. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, they've been kicked out all over the planet. We have our entire agricultural system sabotaged by Monsanto. It's just ridiculous. It's just about as bad as nuclear power.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which...
Our happy little segue into this awesome story that got ignored by mainstream media right here in our own area.
Radioactive tritium is leaking from 3/4 of all U.S. commercial nuclear power sites. The cancer-causing material often seeps into groundwater from corroded, buried piping. That's what the Associated Press concluded after a year-long investigation. Beyond Nuclear's Paul Gunter says the number and severity of the leaks has been escalating, even as federal regulators extend the licenses of more and more reactors across the nation. Tritium is a radioactive form of hydrogen. In many cases, the radioactive leaks have far exceeded the federal drinking water standard. But so far, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and industry says the leaks are not a threat to public health. However, the National Academy of Sciences and other experts disagree and say any exposure to radioactivity boosts the risk of cancer. The tritium leaks have also spurred doubts among independent engineers about the reliability of emergency safety systems at the 104 nuclear reactors situated on 65 different sites. Experts say tritium is relatively short-lived and enters the body weakly through air. The main health risk with tritium would be in drinking water. Beyond Nuclear says these types of radioactive leaks are routine, and underground pipes at nuclear power facilities should be dug out and placed above ground so they can be inspected and maintained before it's too late. Rhonda Pence, Press TV, Washington.
Of course, the amazing statement in there saying that these types of leaks are routine.
Yes, and there's no danger to public health.
Also, the other story that they ignore altogether, they closed down 54 nuclear plants in Japan after the Fukishima incident, and they didn't have to start them back up again.
But they're trying really hard. TEPCO's trying very hard.
They had 50,000 people show up in Tokyo mayor's front lawn the last time that they seriously did it. Now they're facing more protests in Japan about it. But, of course, with lamestream media in North America not covering it.
Well, you know, we got to pay attention to Chris Hadfield retiring or, you know.
I know. That's way more important. That's why we're here. You are way more important than we are. You are the person who's awake, getting out in the streets, and actually talking about what's wrong. Make sure that you get your support from the major media that's out there that isn't lamestream. And check our facts, because we're not going to say trust us. I'm Darren Howard.
And I'm Robert Nisbet.
It's been our privilege to bring you video radio, Radio Free Canada on YouTube. Remember, contact us at Box 20013, Kelowna, BC, V1Y9 Henry 2. The home office line, yes, you can get a hold of that one once you get a hold of us on mail. And we're at RadioFreeMedia@gmail.com. So what do we got? Yes?
Yeah, that's it. But make sure you address all information so the NSA can read it.
Yes. Remember, the NSA is watching what you're doing. They're not stopping, so neither are we. You've been tuned in to Radio Free Canada. It's been really cool. Okay, we got more shows coming up. Stay tuned.